Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 action movie Black Site, a film that is directed and written by Tom Payton, and this is it's kind of described as like a retro John Carpenter inspired 80s like sci-fi horror type movie, and it focuses on, and it's got quite an interesting story, I'll certainly give it that. It focuses on this black site where eons ago there were things called the Elder Gods roaming the earth, and there was a huge battle. This site was built called the Black Site, and it's where when you capture these gods, you take them to this site and then you kind of deport them to another dimension where they're never seen and heard from ever again. And it's got all these markings all over it so that no weapons can be used at this black site, no explosions can take place, no powers from the gods can be used, all this kind of stuff. But we see at the beginning of this film, over the years it's become a bit of like, there's a bit of like a skeleton crew there now. It's hardly used, but occasionally still these elder gods are hunted down, and they are in like human, they call them meat skins, these gods. They're in like human skins. They're brought to this site and then deported away, but there's not that many people there anymore because they're obviously not as much of a threat as they used to be. However, there is this one elder god who's being transported there, who was directly responsible, I believe, for the death of one of these people, one of these guards' parents at this black site, and he's got his own agenda. He's wanting to get the love of his life released from this other dimension, and there's these people that worship these elder gods, these humans that like break into the site, and there's all sorts of chaos takes place, and they've got to try and take control back from these people and these elder gods, etc., etc. So a reasonably interesting story to a point, I would suggest, this film. I like the idea. It sounded great, this film. It's one of those films when I read up on it, I thought, oh, this sounds like it could be pretty good. You know, humans, elder gods, powers, like, you know, it's almost like you're expecting like this epic battle to take place. And ultimately, unfortunately, what you get with this film is a bit of a damp squid, I felt, that I feel could have been far more than we actually got. But I thought performances throughout the film were to a respectable degree, I will say. Not A-list sort of stuff, of course not, but I thought they delivered the lines well, and they made the story as believable as they could. The best thing for me about this film was the soundtrack. It had a great synth heavy soundtrack, and it did feel quite retro in that respect, but there was no horror elements here for me at all, and only now and again a bit of action taking place. You know, fights between, you know, these guards and this woman who's trying to make her way through this complex so that she can, you know, recapture this elder god who's trying to escape. And it didn't really spark my imagination, this film. It just didn't grab hold of me, and it was a shame because I thought, like I said, there was an awful lot of potential here. I mean, there are plot holes left, right and centre. You know, if this place is so pivotal to like the protection of the human race, which is kind of what we're led to believe through exposition and stuff, why has it been left to go to ruin? At the beginning of the film you see that there's some maintenance taking place at one part of the building, and no one seems to give a monkeys, and lo and behold, that weakness is exposed later when the building is, or the black site is, you know, invaded by this cult and stuff. So it just seemed a bit odd that they had no means of fighting back, almost, because they put all these wards all over the black site so that these elder gods can't use their powers, and you can't use weapons. Well, then train them up, these guards, as like skilled swordsmen or knife people, or, you know, expert fighters in many different, and if it's such a pivotal place, you could get these people from all over the planet Earth, these most skilled sword fighters and knife fighters and unarmed combat fighters, and pay them what they want to guard this place. But no, they had guards that you probably wouldn't put in charge of the local shopping centre. They were unenthusiastic and didn't give a monkeys, and they were about as skilled as the local security guard, like I say, down at the shopping centre. It just seemed a bit unbelievable to me if this site was so important, even though it had been left to go to ruin. It was still in use because they're transporting these elder gods there still now. So why is it been left to go to ruin so much? It just bothered me a little bit, stuff like that. So it's watchable, and I really like the idea here, and I loved the soundtrack of this film, and I feel it had an awful lot of potential going for it, but for me it just didn't deliver enough. So unfortunately I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. It's bang average. It did have loads of potential, and I think probably the budget let it down. I think they could have done far more with it. But the action scenes are certainly passable, and last 20 minutes gets a bit more exciting, but you've kind of seen it all before by that point. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for me. Not brilliant, but certainly watchable. So there you go, guys, that's my review for Black Site. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.